What is up, everybody? So, as you can see, I'm not in my studio at the moment, and that's because I do not have one. So I'm working out of my living room. And when I'm mixing my covers with loud guitars, loud drums, loud everything, tons of orchestration and synth, it's quite a bit of a problem because I can't trust my ears. The stereo image just falls apart. So that's why I'm really happy that 3 years ago, I bought these. The Slate Audio VSX headphones. Basically, what these headphones do with the VSX plugin that you get in your DAW, they emulate rooms. So everything from professional studios to a car, to an old stereo, to a club, whatever you can think of, you can do it right here. And this makes mixing a lot easier because you don't have to run to your mama's old stereo to check every 5 minutes or on your phone. You can just do it right here on the fly. So I initially bought these because I wanted to balance my instruments better. But after I got them, I realized I can use them for so much more. Everything from rooting out harsh frequencies to make sure everything sits well in the stereo image. And now that I don't have a studio, these are a lifesaver. And now Slate Audio has released the VSX 5.0, which introduces a bunch of new rooms, but also something called the echo calibration. Basically what that means is that they tailor the sound of the VSX to the shape of your ears. And I have no idea how that works, but damn, it made a great product even better. Alright, so I got the VSX loaded on my master bus, and this is where the cool part starts. While I'm working on a mix, I can instantly switch between all these different rooms and listening environments. Everything from high-end studios with multiple speakers to cars and even phones. It's like having everything right there. I don't need to run around and stress myself out. I can just flip through them right here and get an honest perspective quick. And this is exactly why this is one of the better investments I made. Because instead of second guessing myself and finding out something is wrong way too late, which I hate, I can just sit here and swap between rooms and catch all these issues immediately. It's almost like a cheat code for saving time and avoiding mix surprises. They also added something called the human linear model, which, without getting too nerdy about it, basically means it emulates how your sound perceives stereo width, without exaggerating it too much, which makes it even easier to make the right decisions in your mix. So one of the biggest things that VSX helps me with is leveling instruments and getting that stereo image right, especially on vocals actually, because let's be honest, getting vocals to sit just right in the mix is always a struggle. So here's my listening go-to. This one just sounds absolutely amazing, but sometimes I can feel the vocals are a little bit tucked behind the mix there. So I switched to a mono setup and you can immediately tell if the vocal is too loud or too low. But that's not all. I go to a different studio and check there as well. Maybe check the other speakers there. This way I have such a quick reference and I can tell immediately that the vocals are good and I don't need to doubt myself if I only have one source to listen to. And of course, lastly, check the phone. That is the one you always have to check, because let's be real, that's where a lot of people actually sit and listen to music nowadays. And this is a great indicator, believe it or not. If the vocals are audible and the guitars or drums don't overpower them, then it's usually good. Now, same with the guitars, because I might love how they sound in the main room, but switching to something a little drier, mid-heavy, with mid-fill monitors can reveal some harshness, build-up or lack of clarity. Because if it sounds clean across all these rooms, I know they're in a good place. Now, if you're already using the VSX headphones and have the Essential Pack, you can upgrade to Platinum for $100, which gives you all these new rooms and the echo calibration, the human linear model, and everything they add in the future. They also have a rent-to-own option now, which is a great alternative for you guys who can't afford to pay everything up front immediately. Basically what it is that you pay $150 up front and then $30 a month after that, and after 1 year, they are yours. So do I recommend the VSX headphones? Abso-fucking-lutely. People ask me a lot, what my favorite piece of gear is in my studio and what has been my best investment. And I gotta say the Slate VSX headphones is right up there on the top, because these have just made my workflow so much better, faster and more reliable without having to stress around, which I am prone to doing. So if you want to check out the Slate VSX, there's a link in the description below. And if you have any questions for me about them or anything else, leave them in the comments down below and I will be down there replying to you guys. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.